Karp, I got to ask you about the stock. It has been such a wild ride. You joined the S&P in September, but even before that, people who understood the business jumped in and said, "We believe in it." I mean, that's got to feel really, really good. Almost, I guess, a little bit like the world has woken up to something you already knew. And quite frankly, we already knew because you've been coming for about 3 years.
Look at that smile on Alex Karp's face. It's great to see. Now watch Alex Karp leave this Fox News anchor completely speechless.
Well, you seem to know it early. One of the few people who invited me on when I was a pariah, which was about 18 years of our 20-year existence. Yeah, look, things are good at Palantir. We said that, the world is moving to software first, which no one believed. We said the way to build products is the way we did it, which no one believed. We said that you had to go back to what's now called kind of first principles, what an enterprise should do, not what an enterprise thinks it should do. We believed in meritocracy and hiring the best people. We believe America's a great country and our enemies should suffer. And we built products around those ideas. And, there are a lot of people who didn't believe, some who did, and those that did were well rewarded. And we're kind of nose to the grindstone now. We're, very focused on the U.S.
The idea that building products from first principles is now a guiding philosophy seems so obvious in hindsight, doesn't it? But at the time, was it simply a refusal to compromise? Or was it a deeper vision of how software should fundamentally change the world?
U.S. is doing very, very well for us, and I think in general. And it's a good time. It's a great time at Palantir, and maybe not so great for our doubters. People who didn't want to listen to proclamations of obvious truth, like, an enterprise should work. This nation is great. We have the best people and have the best products, and we built these products that were built years before people thought we were relevant. The most relevant one of now is how do you manage large language models and AI so that you can actually extract value, and the value is quantifiable, either on the battlefield to bring soldiers home, kill our enemies, or in commercial to change margins, reduce dwell time, reinvent your business. And one last point. One of the most important things people do not understand about AI is they understand roughly kind of how it could work. Of course, they also have noticed that many AI companies or, the large language models alone basically lead to a science project. But what the purpose of what you can do with AI is you can do exactly what we did at Palantir, which is build your institution the way it ought to be built. A country ought to have a border. A military ought to be efficient in both how it spends and how it kills and how it protects. An enterprise that's in manufacturing should be able to control the supply chain, should be able to control the workforce, should be able to manage people who are smart but not technical but maybe don't have business acumen. Those kind of things can be managed. Bringing an institution back to what it ought to be is the single purpose of what Palantir does, and we're now able to do it, which is why our enterprise business in the U.S. is just
Rocking.
very, very rocking.
This highlights why Palantir stands apart, delivering solutions that focus on tangible impact, not just innovation for innovation's sake. Building institutions to function as they ought to is a powerful, purpose-driven vision that's now paying off.
It's unbelievable. Total commercial sales in the third quarter rose, 27%? To $317 million.
Well, the most important stat
are you trending the same or even better this quarter?
Well, obviously, I can't talk about.
Yes, you
can. Well, unless you want me walking out of here in shackles, I'm already pushing the limits. But look, our U.S. business grew 44% last quarter, 44%, with a latent, basic, non-existent sales force, with me as a front man offending half of America. Actually, the other half loves us. I mean, the people that believe in truth and justice and meritocracy and having a border, but sticking to our guns. And we've stuck to our guns. And the most important part of our business, that's commercial and government, is growing at a very. And then there's this for people who aren't in business. There's a rule that's basically like a diagnostic of health, and it's called the Rule of 40. And that Rule of 40, I think we have the highest in the world, 68, which means while you're sitting there. One of the biggest trends that we've had to fight against is the experts are only experts in this country at being wrong. Their expertise is, I'm wrong. And they're not even consistently wrong. And so when it comes to Palantir, it's like, oh, they're a services company. Oh, of course you have to build software so that it is a parasitic entity on an enterprise instead of that it actually is aligned with the enterprise. And, so that we are the actual results force those experts to say, what the F is going on here? It's like I can see their teeth being spat out against the window.
Well,
with numbers like that and a philosophy rooted in meritocracy and truth, how can critics continue to doubt Palantir's approach? The Rule of 40 at 68 isn't just impressive. It's a challenge to the status quo in both tech and business.
isn't that what Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy are doing right now? They're looking at government spending, government inefficiency. I mean, you just talked about making commercial operations more efficient, government operations more efficient. Have you talked to Elon Musk or Vivek about
Look,
Palantir?
without going into all, Palantir, we want to support the U.S. government. We want to support them. I completely support the mission. And I don't, and again, there's two parts of the mission: getting out waste, figuring out what works, investing in what works. But there's also, we believe that the doctor is politicized. We believe our universities aren't teaching anything valuable. We don't trust that, and neither side trusts. And the idea that like blue is right or whatever, no one believes it anymore. So we need transparency as the first step to reinvigorating legitimacy in this culture. And I wholeheartedly support what they're doing. And God knows, you could not have a better person than Elon doing it.
what if they come to you and they say, all those programs that you're doing for the Defense Department, we're cutting back the Defense Department.
Well, you said all those things you're doing. Like, I have enormous faith in both of them to figure out what's working. And Palantir exists to serve this nation. And I mean, we need to know what's working and what's not. And I think that's great for the nation and probably pretty good for Palantir too. You know, software, especially software that's productized, is enormously efficient. The underlying economics of software is both sides get more. I build a product no one else can build. I sell it to you at a fraction of the cost of building it. I'm happy because I can sell that product everywhere. You're happy because you could never build that. And honestly, if you had $1 billion, you couldn't build it, but you might think you're going to get $1 billion and build it. And of course, that doesn't work. Efficiency will not only make everything cheaper. Transparency will not only be cheaper. It will be, the output will be better. And again, the primary basis of the U.S. economy right now is tech. The primary lesson of tech is you get the right people and you spend less. And you get massive output. And so like all these things that are likely to happen by looking at transparency they're going to lead to increases in transparency. And by the way, increases in
Palantir's emphasis on transparency and efficiency feels like the foundation for a more accountable government. By using software to expose what's working and what's not, they're creating the tools for real reform. It's not just about saving money. It's about delivering better outcomes and restoring trust in institutions that have lost their way.
The AI piece of all of this has enhanced so much. Certainly the work that you have helped the Ukrainians do and the Israelis do on the battlefield. But in the past, you guys have been very clear. It's on your website that you say, we believe in augmenting human intelligence, not replacing it. But considering how far AI has come in just a short time, do you think that it deserves a little more latitude beyond the
there's a
humans?
lot of super interesting questions. Like, for example, on the battlefield now, peer-to-peer adversaries, if you're defending against their missiles, you're going to not have time to go back to the human. But there's ways in which you can use software to code ethics into the program so that you get the data feed comes in from large language models and other AI systems. The large language models are not precise enough, and the other systems may be precise, but they're not ethical. And you can have the decision feed into the software, and the ethics, human ethics, can be encoded. But yeah, we're entering a completely different world. And part of the reason we're entering a completely different world is we have pretty lethal and very competent adversaries.
Is it too early to ask if you guys have considered AI-driven peacekeeping or conflict resolution software?
The primary way to create peace in this world is to scare our adversaries when they wake up, when they go to bed, while they're seeing their mistress. Whatever they're doing, they're scared. If you want to have peace in the world, that's how you do it. And that is our peace-giving offering this Christmas season to our adversaries. We're going to help this government be more transparent, work with Partnership in America. And our goal is everyone who does not like America, does not like what we stand for, does not like the West, thinks we're useful idiots, is going to be scared and uncomfortable more tomorrow than today.
Palantir's perspective on AI-driven defense strategies highlights the importance of using technology responsibly. As AI systems become more advanced, the need for careful oversight becomes even more critical. Palantir's approach to embedding ethics into AI could play a pivotal role in ensuring that while technology increases efficiency, it doesn't compromise the values we hold dear, especially in matters of life and death.
Well, that is a nice big bow around a Christmas gift.
That is our Christmas present. Happy New seasons, whatever you celebrate, please, and to all supporters of Palantir, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. And to all people who've hated on us, enjoy your coal.
Oh. Alex, never a dull moment with you.
This conversation showcases Palantir's unwavering commitment to leveraging technology for both efficiency and ethical responsibility. From Palantir's growth to its bold stance on the U.S. government, it's clear that the company is not just building software, it's shaping the future of defense, enterprise, and government transparency. While many doubted Palantir's vision in the early years, the results now speak for themselves. With a clear focus on both enhancing operational efficiency and driving transparency. The bold claims about AI and its application on the battlefield are fascinating, especially in the context of the company's promise to augment human intelligence rather than replace it. The ongoing debate about ethical decision-making in AI is timely, especially as Palantir explores ways to embed ethics into software that can potentially change the dynamics of warfare. By focusing on transparency, accountability, and results, Palantir has demonstrated how the right use of AI can not only improve outcomes, but also uphold core values that have shaped the company's journey.